Hey everyone, this is Inspire Africa with me, Jerry Fisaya Bambi. Thank you for joining us. Coming up on the program, the story of music from Saran WhatsApp, a lo-fi method for music production, giving talent from the Sahel region international exposure. A solar-powered car made from trash and scrap yards in Sierra Leone. We hear from its creator and the prospect. Plus, later on the show, we meet with Gabon's Tamara Busamba, a young female entrepreneur helping to transform the country's rural agricultural sector. This is Inspire Africa. Now, it's a pandemic year. The music live shows and concerts are cancelled, and aspiring artists can get a stage to perform or showcase their talent. In January, Sahel Sounds decided to release monthly EPs online, which artists record on mobile phones and send over via WhatsApp. As a result, artists like Ali Traore now have an international audience. Let's take a look.
Dressed in black, Ali Traore walks down his street in Bamako, Mali's capital. He arrives at his compound, starts to strum an acoustic guitar and sing of his longing for the desert tunes around his native town of Funke. But Ali is doing this jam session on his smartphone and will later send the file for WhatsApp to his producer in Portland, Oregon.
One day, Christopher Kirkley asked if I could record some song tracks with my phone and send it over WhatsApp. And I said, okay, no problem, I'll do that. And that's how it started. Today, I am not known internationally, which is why I do this. It can open a lot of doors for me, even if I don't make any money. A label here in Mali cannot take you to the United States or on international tours. That doesn't happen here.
Christopher Kirkley founded Sahel Sounds in 2009, initially as a blog, after falling for the region's music through Bokum.
The concept of the project is to reach out to an artist and then have them record an EP, 4 to 5 tracks recorded directly onto their cell phone, and then send those tracks to Sahel Sounds via WhatsApp. After that, after some communication, we'll get all that information together, put it up on Bandcamp. It's just essentially an experiment to see, how can we break down these barriers of entry for artists in West Africa who really don't have access to things like, a credit card or PayPal. They can't get on a lot of these digital platforms.
The WhatsApp recordings began before coronavirus struck. Ali Traore ranks amongst the latest to benefit, but there are hopes for more people like him to benefit from something that seems perfect to deal with the times and perhaps a great model for the future.
To our next story, determined to find solutions to the increasing pollution from automobiles in Freetown, Sierra Leone's capital, 24-year-old Emmanuel Ali Mansare decided to create something from pretty much scraps and that runs on clean energy. We'll take a look at it and its prospects.
Freetown hosts about 1.2 million inhabitants, with transportation being a major problem for most of its residents. With the many pollutions and traffic jams across the city, a 24-year-old is seeking to fix the problems of transportation. From one scrap shop to different dump sites, this is how the dream of Emmanuel Aliou Mansare has now come to reality. He invented the first solar-powered car, all from trash and scrap yards.
I usually visit the dustbin, the scrap shop, collect used materials. I bring them home, modify them, clean them, and transform them the way I want by creating generator. And during the night, I use them to study.
According to Emmanuel, his innovation story started way back from his childhood days, with a solar car project taking him 3 years.
It's all about imagination. That's why I name it Imagination Car. It's as a result of the excess air pollution being factored by this vehicle we are using that being the source, like they get a source like a kerosene diesel to power them, petrol, etc.
Made out of bamboos and designed with the country's green, white and blue colors, the car covers a distance of 15 kilometers per hour. Peter Conte is learning some skills from Emmanuel. He shares his experiences after driving the solar-powered car.
This imagination car is one of its kind. It's very, very easy to drive. Everything in this imagination car is used with your hands, thus making it disabled friendly. It's really amazing.
Emmanuel is pursuing a bachelor's degree in geology at Farabi College, University of Sierra Leone, and is hoping to address Goal 7 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which addresses affordable and clean energy.
Now we head over to Gabon to meet with Tamara Busamba, the 27-year-old founder and CEO of Agridis and co-founder of Wagi, an agri app that links farmers to sellers. Tamara, good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
First off, as a young woman, Tamara, what informed your choice or decision in taking up commercial farming as a venture?
I grew up with grandparents, farmers, so I was already experiencing the difficulties in the sector with my grandmother. So growing up, I decided to help other farmers to have access to market or to increase their production. It's a part of my personal story, and I just decided to help people like my grandmother to have more production, to have access to markets so that they can sell their products.
Tamara, in Gabon, most of the farmers are illiterate or with very little education, and many of them don't even have smartphones. Now, when you co-founded the app Wagi, what were you thinking?
So we are aware that a lot of farmers don't use smartphones, but the other challenge of this sector is to bring young people into agriculture. So when we decided to found Wagi, it was for two reasons mostly. The first reason was how to bring young people into farming and how to help farmers to increase or have access to market. So Wagi can be used by young people to help the farmers who doesn't use smartphone to sell the product to have access to market. So the other thing is to show them how they can increase, they can have more money by using such innovations. But we have some farmers selling already on Facebook, on WhatsApp. But if we show them other possibilities, we'll have more farmers aware of technology.
Okay. Now, let's look at a common perspective, or a perception rather, across the continent. Young people would rather not want to embrace farming. What has been your experience so far?
Yeah, that's a good question again. So it's important today, it's crucial to have young people into farming because in most of African countries, and especially in Gabon, agriculture participates only at 4% of the interior product. And we cannot let other people produce what we eat. If we have a lot of people into farming, we can control what we eat. It's food security, so it's a big issue. And actually, the agricultural workforce is mostly with old people, if I can say that. So young people actually should understand that we should produce what we eat, and we can create more jobs in agriculture. So by my experience, I can say that when people see me in this sector, they understand that it's possible, and agriculture is not just for our parents or grandparents. Everybody can do agriculture.
Tamara, I'd like to thank you very much and for sharing with us the work that you're doing in transforming rural agriculture in Gabon and in your domain.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And with that, we've come to the end of this episode of Inspire Africa. I'd like to thank you very much for staying with us and watching the program. I am Jerry Fisaya Bambi. Do not forget that you can see the program again by going on Africanews.com and Euronews.com. I'm leaving you with some of the images that caught our attention on social media. Happy holidays and see you next time.
A message from Check Out Africa. You can't hate your origin. A look at some colorful African styles from a picture titled Queens, and a boy in Zimbabwe playing with his yellow balloon. It's Merry Christmas and then it's a Happy New Year.